Hey, it's Skeb. It is currently late August as I'm recording this audio, which means spooky season is right around the corner. Just gotta get through fucking September. And you know what that means? That means candy and pumpkins and witch bitches being witchier and bitchier than usual. And I'm here to put a stop to it. Actually, I'm here to talk about spooky games, but anyway. Last year I did something I've never done before, and for the whole month of October I streamed nothing but spooky games, at least for the most part. Which is surprising, because I am a coward, and I hate spooky games. I don't like being scared. But I did it, and with spooky season right around the corner, I wanted to sit here and rank all the games I beat during spooky season 2024. So let's shut the fuck up and get into it. So we're already kind of starting out this list kind of weird, because originally the game in the 9th and the 8th position were actually swapped, but after looking at it for a long time, I've had this list for a long time and I've done nothing with it. This is just I'm just getting to it now, please, I'm sorry. I decided to put Heaven Dust at number 9. Heaven Dust is a cutesy, kind of 2.5D Diablo kind of perspective horror game, which is basically just a cheap Chinese Resident Evil ripoff. In Heaven Dust, you wake up in a mansion and you wander around, you shoot zombies, you fight, you find clues. And originally, a long time ago, when I was just playing games randomly through my backlog, I came across Heaven Dust because it was sitting in my backlog for who knows how long. I played it for 5 to 7 minutes and I was like, you know what? It doesn't seem that bad. And then I never touched it again. But eventually, I kept thinking about the game. And you know what? I really want to play that. And then spooky season was the perfect time to pick it up and play it. And wow, what a load of shit this game is. Aside from the cheapness of it and all the various spelling errors, it's just not fun. Graphically, it's fine, I suppose, but there's nothing that stands out about it. Everything feels kind of cheap. It's also very tedious, and not to mention the sound effects and the music just replaying over and over again and being just awkwardly cut. It's just not a game I would really recommend. It really just didn't do it for me. Maybe it would do it for you, but I would hard pass on this, and I am not doing Heaven Dust 2 for spooky season this year. Oh boy, here we go. The Outbreak series is a series of Resident Evil homages made by a small studio called Dead Drop Studios, which to my knowledge is a two-person studio, husband and wife, and really there's not much to say about these. These are very cheap, very, very bad, if I'm being complete. They're just not good. The animations are atrocious. The gameplay is floaty and slidey and not satisfying. I went through minus the first Outbreak, which I didn't play because I don't like top-down games, and the rail shooter that they have, which apparently is generally well received. I played about 10 to 15 minutes in almost every game in the series, plus Dino Break. I was a little harsh at the top of it. They're very janky, they're very cheap, but honestly, if you're going to look at this series and going to play any of them, the Nightmare Chronicles is an actually kind of standard Resident Evil 1 clone, and although it's pretty cheap and pretty janky and not very good, it's probably the best you're gonna get out of this series. It's bad, it's not terrible from what I played. It was actually palatable. And then next up is Lost Hope. Once again, is not very good, but compared to the rest of the catalog, it's actually, again, palatable from what I played. If I were to sit down and decide I'm going to beat one of these games, it would be Nightmare Chronicles or Lost Hope. Outbreak: The New Nightmares is a multiplayer game, which obviously not good. If you have a group of friends that you can make anything fun with, then Outbreak: The New Nightmare and Outbreak Epidemic might be up your alley. They could work. If I can get some friends together to play these, then it might be fun actually. Outbreak Endless Nightmares is a roguelike for some reason, and it's fucking terrible. It looks like assets were just thrown everywhere for no reason. Outbreak Contagious Memories and Dino Break are the same fucking game. They're the same game with just different coats of paint, swap out dinosaurs for zombies and one or the other, and then the main character is randomly palette swapped. Other characters are randomly palette swapped, and it's again like an asset dump. There's just shit everywhere for no reason. Nightmare Chronicles and Lost Hope might be okay, and New Nightmare and Epidemic might be fun with friends. Otherwise, I would give a hard pass. The Long Reach is a 2D side-scrolling adventure horror, sci-fi, kind of psychological horror game that has been in my library for a very long time. I even played it once or twice for like a couple minutes and it stuck with me. I'm like, I want to play this game. This actually seems very cool. And it starts out very good. It actually starts out very good, very intriguing, and then it just drives off a fucking cliff. The story is completely nonsensical. It's also kind of point and clicky, I guess, where you get an item and then use an item and you have to go somewhere else to get another item to activate something. There's so much about the game that just doesn't work. It looks great, the pixel art is fantastic, and the soundtrack is very eerie, but the mechanics just didn't do it for me, and the story just goes completely off a cliff, and the game just goes on and on and on, and it just becomes a slog. And I just couldn't bring I beat it, but I just couldn't bring myself to like enjoy it or like take it all in. It just kept going, and any intrigue or goodwill it started with just really did not last till the end. The hiding mechanics, like when you have to hide from random enemies, and the enemies aren't even threatening, they're just kind of like psychopaths. It's not scary. It had potential, and it just kind of fizzles out. I'm probably not explaining it very well, but that's just... I wanted so much more from it than I got. The Shore is a first-person, Lovecraftian, story-driven horror game. The atmosphere is so gloomy. It looks so good. There's so much intrigue in like everything you look at. And I'm trying not to mention atmosphere so many times, but the atmosphere just got me hooked. When you're on this beach with these crazy Lovecraftian, eldritch artifacts, and you get so sucked in. And the problem is the island portions of the game are so good, but when you're transported to this like celestial, spacey, Lovecraftian kind of Geigery hellhole, I feel like those parts of the game don't translate as well. They were too dark, and then they were more annoying. They were kind of a slog to get through, and it just didn't do it for me. I wish there was more stuff on the island and less stuff in these like alternate dimensions, or at least if you go to these weird dimensions, it was shorter, a lot shorter, because the island was so good. It was so intriguing, all the things you could find, like reading these notes and finding these like eldritch artifacts and seeing things out of the corner of your eye, looking out into the sea and seeing tentacles coming out. Even later in the game, you see some real cool shit. When you leave the island, it just didn't do it for me. The ending was cool, but parts of it just kind of went back and forth for me. I would give The Shore a play. If you're into Lovecraft, then definitely give it a play. The Whisper is a very short, atmospheric point-and-click horror game where it mostly deals with atmosphere and just like the feeling of being alone. You wander into this abandoned trading post and you read notes about what happened to the previous inhabitants. This game is pretty much just a prequel to The Whispering Valley, and although I feel like it should be free because it's very short. It's like anywhere between 15 to 25 minutes long, I think. It plays like the old school adventure exploration games, I think, where you don't really have direct control. It's not free moving. You click and then your character walks to where it goes, or maybe you're just transported, I forget. There's a scare or two, not like really a scare, but like stuff kind of in your peripheral. It's kind of basically just the end that kind of didn't work for me, because you go into a cave and it's really dark, and then there's like some models and textures there that look kind of questionable. I mean, I can't really speak on The Whispering Valley because I haven't played it, but really, you could probably just skip The Whisper and just play The Whispering Valley, because I imagine there's more in that. But if you like snowy atmosphere, just need to kill about 15 minutes or so, then Yeah, give The Whisper a try. Not bad. The Enigma Machine is a game that has been in my Steam library for so long. I played it once for like 5 minutes, and then the atmosphere was like suffocating me. It's not that scary. Is it? You know, no. I mean, some parts are very unnerving. Even when like nothing kind of happens, some parts get very unnerving. The style, the visuals, the aesthetics of it really got me hooked on like, I need to play this game, and I just never did in earnest. And so finally, last year, I decided to give the Enigma Machine a try. And I played it and I beat it, and I liked parts of it. I didn't fall in love with it like I thought I would. I didn't even generally like. I thought it was okay. The atmosphere is incredible, and I wish there was something more about it that kind of hooked me. There's the music when you're in the Dreamscape OS area that I really wish someone would upload because I can't find it. There's so much about the Enigma Machine that's so cool. The atmosphere is off the charts. The aesthetics are so old, like late 80s, vaporwavy. The puzzles didn't really... Some of the puzzles were cool. I had a little trouble figuring them out because I'm not the smartest. But I liked parts of it. The end was so suffocating when, like, I guess I won't spoil it. There's parts in I was sweating. You're kind of on a timer, and there's a lot going on. So when I was playing the game, and at the end, I was like, I need this to be over because this is a lot. Play the Enigma Machine. I do recommend it. I don't think I'll ever play it again. There's 2 other games by Enigma Studio, Mother, and then there's Echostasis that just came out that I've been really looking at. I probably won't play it this year for spooky season, but I do want to play that eventually. I do recommend the Enigma Machine, at least for the aesthetics and the atmosphere, because it's so good on that front, at the very least. So, okay, this one isn't really fair, because kind of like The Whisper, I'm kind of padding out the list with this. Penco Park is a neat little atmospheric, kind of cutesy, spooky, Pokemon Snap-ish experience. You go through the titular Penco Park and you take a picture of these weird little creatures and you kind of find out their story and you get upgrades. Just kind of like in Pokemon Snap, you unlock a new ability so you can get past certain obstacles and whatnot. It could be spookier. Honestly, I would have liked it to be spookier, even though, like I said, I'm bad with spooky. I'm not one that likes the spooky games, but it would have been nice if it was a little spookier. There's a little bit of general unease, but like outright spooky or like very scary, I never really think I ever really got there. But the atmosphere is nice. The environments are very nice. But Penco Park is a fun little time. It's not that long, I don't think, from what I remember. But it was a fun little time, and I would recommend Penco Park. If you want me to shut the fuck up about atmosphere, I'm sorry. But Fatum Batula, I hope I'm saying that right, I don't know. Holy shit. This game, just a gorgeous PS1 style aesthetics. It's like you're booting up a fucking PlayStation 1. It's so gorgeous. You control your character in the first person, and you go around collecting liquids to feed the life tree. An ancient tree floating in a cathedral, which kind of just feeds off old ancient water, which is why it doesn't grow. And you go through and explore different environments to collect different kinds of liquids to give to the tree to receive one of, I think, 10 or so endings, something like that. The game is like 1000% style. It's so gorgeous. It's straight out of the PlayStation 1. There's an autumn level that's breathtakingly gorgeous. There's even this one level, I won't say much, but when you go to the autumn level, you'll find a church. You need a key to go in the church, but sometimes, I don't know what triggers it, I think it's just luck or whatever. When you go behind the church, you will see a moon. And if you click on the moon, you will go to another moon. And then when you're on that moon, look for stairs. And when you go up the stairs, you will see something very cool. Maybe it's just cool to me, but it was really fucking cool. Fatum Batula nails atmosphere. It nails the aesthetics. God, the atmosphere is fucking stunning in this game. Play Fatum Batula. And number 1 on my list, Crow Country. Holy shit. Crow Country is such a beautiful homage to PS1 horror games, taking inspirations from Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I was just so entranced, like right from the very beginning. In Crow Country, you play as Mara Forrest, who's a detective who comes to the titular Crow Country amusement park to find the elusive theme park owner, Edward Crow. And as you go further and further into the game, you realize things are just not right. Beautiful locations and well-crafted puzzles, which I was happy to say that I didn't need help for a lot of the puzzles. I remember doing most of them on my own, or at least a good amount of them on my own. Reading the notes, you can kind of piece together like what's been going on. There's a little twist at the end that I don't know if I was completely on board with. It was a little shaky near the end, how the story kind of goes. But like overall, like from beginning to where it gets a little rocky, I was loving it, and still I liked it well enough at the end. But it's such a good game, one of my favorites just in the past, I don't know, like 5 years. If anyone saw me play this on stream, you would understand. You know how like obsessed I was with this game. It was just such a good time. Play Crow Country. And that was it. Finally, I got this fucking list out of the way, over and done with. And so now we can get ready for spooky season 2025. So please follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/SkebyBath. I try to stream as much as I can, which is not as much as I would like to. But if you see me live, then you're more than welcome to come in, hang out, and chat. Anyway, that's about it.